Okay. Our Moon Colony by me, Kelsey.
And me, Sam.
Okay, step 1. Activities we would like to do on the moon. 1. Jumping on a trampoline. We would have to stake the trampoline to the ground, or else it would just fly away, and we would have a harness that is chained to the trampoline. That it's our design, by the way.
I created that.
And we would have someone working at the trampoline that makes sure that everyone is safe and that the harnesses work. 2, cheerleading. We like to cheer. So we would have special boots that would make sure that we are stuck to the ground, and we would be able to do our arm motions. Reading. We will have libraries and book nooks in the houses, which in the houses we will have gravity, so you won't need to buckle up. But outside, we will need to buckle up. Shopping. We would open a spacesuit boutique, and you could accessorize your spacesuits, and this could provide job opportunities. We would also have a gravity gym. We like to work out, and we want to make sure that we look fit on the moon. So
All right, so part 2. This is our day-to-day activities, so things you need to do on a daily, right? Number 1, sleep. Everyone needs sleep. So for sleeping, you can like chain yourself into your bed just to make sure you're not going to go anywhere, as well as having a sleeping bag that just zips you up in there. So can't get out of that, right? Okay, for school, we still need education because children are coming. There will be children coming on this trip. So we will have chains that connect you to the ceiling, similar to like a zip lining system, and it moves with your chain. So yeah, keep you in there. And then for laundry, basically the same thing as doing on Earth. Our washer and dryers will be shipped on a rocket to the moon, and then those will run off of solar power, which we're going to get into in a little bit. And then cooking, this one's a little tricky because we're going to have mostly packaged food, like astronaut food, especially in the beginning. But we are still going to have like water, and you can be able to like mix it and warm it all up, as well as growing your own fruits and vegetables and taking vitamins like protein supplements and things that we might not be getting on the moon quite yet to keep us healthy. For transportation, walking is the main source of transportation. There's only about 200 people. So at the moment, we don't really need anything quite yet, but we will have flat escalators similar to what they have in airports to get you there a little quicker if you need to move, or just in case you've been walking a lot, okay? So next, step 2. How would we have power on the moon, okay? So we're gonna use solar panels and solar power for the entirety of the moon. We would take the light from the sun, and we need high quality solar panels to endure the harsh weather, because on the moon, the weather is quite harsh, and so we need really high quality panels to be able to endure that, especially because that is our only source of energy and electricity, all right? So yeah, anything that requires electricity will fully be running off of solar panel power, as well as having extra solar power stored under our mother quarters, which we'll talk about in a little bit, all right?
okay, research of solar power. Quote, eventually we think solar power will be best situated on the moon at the poles where, similar to Earth poles, the sun doesn't set at certain parts of the year, end quote, says McNatt. Quote, the arrays would be rotated to constantly take advantage of the sun's energy, end quote, Jeremiah McNatt, one of the principal investigators at the PILS project. Solar power can be stored. It does not have to be transported from Earth because we have the sun, and it's clean energy, so we can have a clean moon.
All right, so step 3, who was hired to do this? Taylor Swift has hired us to create a colony on the moon that will be inclusive for everyone, and the old social norms will not exist. Our customers would be anyone that wants to escape the overpopulated Earth and live on the moon with us. There would be about a population of 200 people to start. Everyone would have to live in Idaho, so we don't have to worry about extra transportation costs, and we need to have people specializing in specific fields to really build a community, like, for example, teachers, agriculturists, scientists, doctors, all those things. And then for our proposal, it will be going to NASA to ask for that funding. So it would say Dear NASA, Taylor Swift has hired us for creating a colony on the moon. We would need approximately $5 to $10 million to fund this project. This is an expensive project, and this is what it takes. Not only is this cool because it will be the first colony to only be living off of solar panels, and I mean the first colony to ever exist on the moon, but this can really brighten our horizon for what living in the future is going to look like. All right.
Okay. This is a picture of the design we created for our moon colony. So right here, this is mother. This is main quarter. So this would have the cafeteria. It would have entertainment like movies and like libraries. We would have a trading post. We would have shopping. The president's rooms. This is where we would live. Event centers for like weddings and birthdays. We would have a bank. We would have police and fire department. We would have auditorium, postal office, hospital, and these little bubbles would be the different colonies that everyone lives in. So they would have dining halls, they would have bathrooms, baths, they would have bunks, they would have caves, and they would have their lounge area.
Correct. All right. So continuing, step 4, how is solar power generated? So the solar panels will be installed on rooftops, and if we need any extra, they will be on the ground. They contain cells that convert sunlight into electricity. The sunlight capture, the panels absorb the sunlight, which consists of tiny little particles of energy called photons. The photovoltaic effect, when the sunlight hits the solar panels, the photons knock electrons loose from their atoms, generating an electric current. On the inverter, the direct current electricity produced by the solar panels needs to be converted into an alternating current electricity, which is what we would use for homes and buildings, etc. And then the electrical grid, the converted AC electricity flows into the electrical grid where it can be used to power our buildings and everything that needs electricity.
Okay, step 5. What can be used on the moon? The moon has the ground. We have so much space to play with. We will start with our main colony, but you know, who knows? We might get funded more money and we could build. The sun for our power. We don't have to bring that over. We have it there. All other materials will need to be shipped. So, for example, our solar panels, construction materials for building the domes, we need to have the greenhouse be clear, and the other domes will just be like regular roofs. Furniture, utilities, we need our beds, we need our toilets, we need our sinks, we need all of our stuff that we have here. Food, we talked about food, what we're gonna bring. Water, transportation, how are we gonna get there? We need to get there on a rocket ship. And for emergencies, and if we need to come back, we need that rocket ship to take us back. Seeds, we wanna plant potatoes, we wanna plant vegetables, we wanna plant fruits. But to take care of those, we need agricultural tools.
All right, and that is the end of our moon colony. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.